Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. Sports and boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Oleksandr Usyk and AJ have a fight coming up. The rematch. A lot of people are excited about it, right? But I think some people some of these ex-boxers, man, feeling themselves. You know what I'm saying? I understand if you perform well in your profession and you see other guys who are now kind of in the position that you were in at a time, or they were in the position you occupied at a time but have gone on to do more than what you've accomplished, and maybe you didn't go on to do it because of your own insecurities or whatever it is that prevented you from pursuing, additional goals, right? I think what's happening here is some of these guys are sitting back and watching Usyk and saying, I could have done that. Okay, so Johnny Nelson, right? Most of you guys probably just know him as the commentator there for Sky Sports. A lot of y'all may not really know who he is, right? Because at the time he was actually boxing, probably a lot of people probably weren't even, some people weren't even born, and other people weren't really into the sport like that, okay? So his real name is Ivinson Rani. Johnny is his nickname, Nelson. He was born 4 January 1967, okay? I'm just giving you a little background on this guy because he's just lost his mind. He's a British former professional boxer. So for those of you who didn't know, he competed from 1986 to 2005. So this man was a professional boxer for almost 20 years. And has since worked as a boxing analyst, which most of you guys know. He's currently the longest reigning world cruiserweight champion of all time. Now, for those of you who don't know, right below the heavyweight division, it's the cruiserweights. Now, recently they implemented this, what's the name of that group? Bridgeweight? Some division. Some weird-ass division that was created. But anyway, it's cruiserweight, then heavyweight. So he's the longest reigning world cruiserweight champion of all time. He held a WBO title from 1999 to 2005. He defended the title against 13 different fighters, more than any other cruiserweight in history, and holds a joint record of most consecutive cruiserweight title defenses, along with a guy named Marco Huck. Nelson also held a British cruiserweight title twice between 1989 and 1997, and the European cruiserweight title twice between 1990 and 1998. Okay, just wanted to frame that for you so you know what you're dealing with in old Johnny. But anyway, Johnny Nelson is more like Johnny Knoxville because he's making jokes out there these days saying that he would have beat Usyk. He would have outboxed him, and he thinks it would have been pretty easy. He says, yeah, I would have outboxed him. Now, let me tell you this, right? Old Johnny had a lot of fights, okay? And 59 to be exact. And 40 he had 45 wins, 29 of those by KO. He had 12 losses. But you look at his career when he first started fighting professionally, right? He's saying that he would have outboxed Usyk easily. Now, Usyk is a special fighter. But old Johnny says he would have beat Usyk, right? Which is it's just madness, in my opinion. How the hell he expects to knock out Usyk? When old Johnny first started boxing, his first 3 fights, he lost. He was 0-3. Then his next 4 fights, he won. So he was 4-3. Then he lost his 8th fight, so he was 4-4. Then he lost the next 2. He won the next 2, so he was 6-4. And then he lost the next one, so he was 6-5. So in his first 11 fights, he was 6 wins, 5 losses. After that, from fight number 12, he went all the way to fight 20 winning. Then at fight number 21, he had a draw. And at fight 22, he went all the way to fight 27 winning. And then fights number 28, 29, and 30, he lost. Came back in fight 31 and 32 and 1. Fight number 33, lost. 34-1, 35 lost. 30-6 he won, 37-38, both back-to-back losses. Then fight 39 all the way to fight 55, he won, 56 was a draw, 57-59 was a win. So it looks like he got a little better as he got older. But when you look at the fact that this guy was like, 6-5, right? His first 11 fights. How does he figure he would relatively easily outbox Oleksandr Usyk? They sit here and they just talk out of their backside. I know that Johnny supports AJ. He likes AJ. But he has a tendency when he's commentating to always almost want to down talk fighters. Like he's better than them. Like they're not, he doesn't want to give them the credit and respect due. Don't get me wrong. It's a pretty good accomplishment what he did by being the longest reigning cruiserweight champion of all time. From 99 to 2005, he got better with time, obviously. But he can't come now and want to break down these younger guys. We're supposed to be building these guys into champions, man. And that's just not what I get from him when I hear him talk. And I actually don't like hearing him talk most of the time. There was something that happened with Kell Brook where somebody was saying something to Kell Brook, and Johnny Nelson was saying, had that have been me, I don't know if Kell Brook was with his wife and kids or what, but he was saying if that was me the person was talking to, I would have gave him a slap. So Johnny Nelson still has the fighting spirit, but he walks around, man, like he's some kind of bad man, and I just don't like hearing him talk, to be honest with you. When I hear him coming out here saying that Anthony Joshua couldn't beat Usyk, all those guys in the Super 6 tournament couldn't beat Usyk, but old Johnny Nelson, Iverson Randy Johnny Nelson, is trying to make people believe he would have easily outboxed Usyk. How the hell is anyone going to easily outbox Usyk? Usyk gives anybody problems. And I just don't think Johnny would have been the guy to come out there and derail Usyk. I think Usyk would have had old Johnny in the face down, butt up position in that damn ring. But nevertheless, it just trips me out, man. Maybe that's just something that comes with the guys who train out there out of Sheffield, man, and train under Brendan Ingle. Because who else was out there with a big mouth, man? Prince Nassim Hamed. Maybe that's a Sheffield thing, with these guys who are out there in Sheffield coming up, they all real vocal and think highly of themselves. Not trying to downplay old Johnny, Iverson Randy Johnny. He was a good boxer. He was decent. He's doing really good with Sky Sports. And actually, since he's retired, man, he spent a lot of time working in the prison system trying to help inmates with life management skills. He's done a lot of charity work, and that's to be lauded. But one thing I did not know about old Johnny, Iverson Randy Johnny, is his mother was Cuban Jamaican. I knew there was a little Jamaican piece to him because he's always in there trying to talk, with his little bit of patois and stuff like that, man, and his little 2-cent Jamaican words he tries to throw out there every now and then. But his mom was Cuban Jamaican. His father was Dominican. I did not know that. But his parents split up when he was a young child. He didn't reunite with his biological dad till he was in his 30s. So no Dominican influence in him, just him and his mom, man. But bottom line, man, people feel like when he talks, especially about Usyk, he just needs to shut up. I just don't see too many people beating Usyk. The kind of guy who's going to beat Usyk is going to be a guy like a Wilder, a Fury, and even AJ. AJ should get him this next time if AJ fights big and does what he's supposed to. As a bigger, stronger man, and he's a smart boxer, and AJ has all the intangibles to get in that ring and get Usyk, and not just beat Usyk, get him out of there. But then again, boxing is mental, and we're not sure where Joshua is mentally. So that plays a big part into all this. But I just wanted to bring that to you guys out there who wonder where old Johnny is sitting around, in his 6'2" frame, and at age 55, still talking about how he would have beat Oleksandr Usyk fairly easily. And when you watch his fights, although he fought at cruiserweight, he went on and he tried heavyweight. You watch his fights, it doesn't look like he was just easily outboxing anyone. So again, sometimes I think they need to take his microphone, man. I'm trying to think what commentator out there when they talk, they speak, they don't. Who knows another one who they need to take his damn microphone? It's Carl Frock. He always has something crazy to say. But the thing you gotta respect is they speak from their heart and how they feel. But I just think when it comes to these ex-boxers, and you gotta give respect to what these guys are doing now, and that's why a lot of those older boxers, man, Sugar Rays and those guys, they still feel like they would be able to perform at a high level, but they try to give credit to these guys who are currently doing it. But a guy like Sugar Ray Leonard, he has every right to think that if he was in his prime in this era, that he'd be whipping everybody's ass, because he was whipping everybody's ass back then. Like, he was a different kind of fighter. But a Johnny Nelson, Iverson, a Randy Johnny Nelson, negative. No way in the world he'd get in there and have a chance, I think, against anybody, man. So I'll leave it as that. But that being said, like and subscribe. Hey, I like to hear what these other guys have to say, especially when they're breaking down fights and analyzing. There are times where they'll say something that I didn't really think of or recognize, and it helps to frame things, and put things, kind of put a different perspective on it. But when you're just out here just talking out your cockle hole, it's like they need to sew that up. You know what I'm saying? Because, they need to sew up your cockle hole and your mouth, because you got crap coming out of both ends, and plenty of crap starts to stink. So, Iverson, Randy, Johnny Nelson, man, zip it up. You're not beating Oleksandr Usyk. So I'll leave it as that. You guys take care. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Shout out to the veterans, and as always, I'm in the breeze.